WH questions. What are the most common types of questions in English? There are two common types of questions in English: WH questions and yes/no questions. For example, what is your favorite animal is a WH question, and do you like snakes is a yes/no question. What are WH questions in English? We use WH words to ask about different types of information. We use who to ask about a person, what to ask about a thing, where to ask about a place, when to ask about time, why to ask about a reason, and how to ask about manner. The answers to WH questions provide the information that we ask about. For example, what are you doing? I'm studying. When does this class start? It starts at 9 a.m. There are two common question patterns for the simple present tense in English. One common pattern is WH word plus do plus subject plus verb. An example of this question pattern is, where do you live? Note that we use does when the subject is he, she, it, or a singular noun. For example, where do I live? Where does he live? Where does she live? Where does it live? Where do we live? Where do they live? Where does your sister live? Where do your sisters live? Another common question pattern is WH word plus be plus subject. An example of this question pattern is, how are you? Note that be changes forms with different subjects. For example, how am I? How is he? How is she? How is it? How are we? How are they? How is your brother? How are your brothers? Let's look at some more examples of WH questions in English. Who do you want to invite to your party? What is her favorite movie? Where are they from? When does your roommate wake up? Why does he like rainy days? How do the students get to school? Look at the WH word list. Say or write the word that matches the type of question. For example, we use how to ask about manner. Now you try. We use when to ask about time. We use who to ask about a person. We use why to ask about a reason. We use where to ask about a place. We use what to ask. Modals of ability. Past. What is a modal? A modal is a word that comes before the main verb. A modal gives a verb extra meaning. The modal could is a modal of ability. Could means you were able to do something in the past. For example, I could play the piano when I was 10 years old. I could ride a horse every day when I lived on a farm. I could speak 3 languages when I was a child. Modals are always followed by a base verb. A base verb is a verb with no ending added to it. A base verb has no s, ed, or ing ending. We use could plus a base verb when someone was able to do something in the past. I could ride my bike to school when I lived in the country. When we finished our homework early, we could play basketball. He could ski in the winter when he lived near the mountains. We use could not or couldn't plus a base verb when someone was not able to do something in the past. I couldn't go to the beach yesterday because it was too cold. He could not swim when he was a child. They couldn't go to their favorite restaurant after they moved to a new city. We use could plus a subject plus a base verb to ask if someone was able to do something in the past. Could he play guitar when he was young? Yes, he could. No, he couldn't. Could she remember her phone number when she was 4 years old? Yes, she could. No, she couldn't. Could you speak 2 languages 5 years ago? Yes, I could. No, I couldn't. What could you do 5 years ago? Look at the pictures. Make a sentence for each picture with I could or I couldn't.